Hey guys, we're going to talk today about some discounts on your auto insurance that, well, they're not really discounts. People think they are, but they're not really. So here they are. The first biggest thing that I hear people say all the time that they think that matters to get their rate lower on their auto insurance is somebody in their household is just a part-time driver. That doesn't really matter. Every company I've got that we work with, that's not usually the question. Now, I do know that some companies used to. You were able to put someone, if you had more drivers in your household than you had vehicles, they let you put them as a part-time driver. But that doesn't really, that's not really something that they look at anymore. What most companies have gone to is they kind of spread everybody that's a driver, they kind of spread that risk amongst all the vehicles. They don't necessarily credit them towards one specific or only let them be kind of like a part-time driver. So that's one discount myth that people get mixed up on a lot. All right, another discount myth that people kind of get mixed up a lot on is the color of the vehicle. Some people think that the color of the vehicle that you drive either gives you a discount or hurts you on your auto insurance on the rate. And that's another one of those discount myths that doesn't exist. Sorry. Another thing that people have a misunderstanding about on auto insurance is the liability coverage on the vehicle. On one vehicle should be the same as the other as far as the cost goes, and that is just not how auto insurance works. There are a whole bunch of different characteristics of a vehicle, from safety features down to the size of the vehicle, the weight of the vehicle, and a whole bunch of other things that we really don't even see on our end as agents. That's something built into the system on the back end that determines the cost of that vehicle for the liability coverage on it. So we'll have people sometimes that will add a vehicle, take one off that's a liability, add one that's a liability, and it might be more or less, just depends on the kind of vehicle they're adding and taking off. But that's just one misunderstanding people have about their auto insurance that may or may not cause their rates to be different. Another thing that people think matters on their auto insurance, if they assign certain drivers to certain vehicles, this goes back kind of the part-time driver thing, but they think if they assign someone to a specific vehicle that's going to help on their auto insurance rate. Now, there may be some companies that still do this, but for the most part, for companies that I represent and the ones that I've worked with for the last several years, it's something that used to be able to be done that these companies have kind of gone away from. They kind of take more of, like I said, a spread of risk. They kind of take the drivers and they expose them to all the vehicles evenly for the most part. Not on all companies, but most of them, that's what's happened. And switching, even if you switch the ones that do allow you to assign drivers to certain vehicles, now it doesn't seem like that really matters near as much as it used to. Something else that we get asked a lot about, it has to do with your young driver. Most people ask the question when they add a young driver if they get any kind of discount for having the driver's education class. Well, sorry, but that's not necessarily something that most companies give a discount for, especially for young drivers. Maybe it used to be several years ago. It's just not the case anymore. But if you are an older driver, there is a defensive driver discount if you have taken a defensive driver course that most companies do offer a discount for. But you do have to complete that course and provide a certificate of completion in order to get that discount. So there's another misconception kind of on the driver's education classes as far as giving a discount for young drivers, but there is that option for the older drivers. All right, guys, so one last thing we'll talk about today on discounts that you think are a discount that aren't really helping you out. So one of the things on your auto insurance that you may be asked when you get the quote or whenever you're adding a vehicle, whatever, is how you use that vehicle. And it can either be for personal use or pleasure use, or for work or school, back and forth. And you might also be asked how many miles you drive. So there is some factor that goes into how much you use your vehicle as far as mileage. Not as much as you think, and not near the discount you think it will add. You could, several years ago, you could change the use of the vehicle to pleasure. But now it just doesn't help you anymore.